What's up, Ray?
What's up, Rome?
What's up, music producers?
We are in the house.
We are in this thing like we never left.
That's right.
He said,
Glad you guys are with us today.
glad you're tuning in.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing good. Like we always say, hopefully you're doing good.
We got a good one for today.
Oh yeah, we're continuing on our series about our series about building an audience as a music producer.
That's right. It's big.
We got a couple more key takeaways for you. Hopefully it'll help you out.
Boom.
Let you level up. I'm Rome. This is Ray.
Hey.
We're music producers. We have done it a long time. We want to help y'all do it too a long time. Make a lot of money from it, hopefully. But before we jump in, we want to let you all know about Industry Standard Productions, forwardproducer.com/ISP.
ISP.
Completely free. Just go check it out.
That's
7 ways to level up your music production in a more practical way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like mixing, mastering, different little stuff like that. Recording, yep. Editing.
That's right.
Songwriting.
Editing, it's so exciting.
That's one of my least favorite things. But if you know how to do it good,
Yeah.
it'll save you a lot of time. So go check it out, forwardproducer.com/ISP.
Boom.
We have industry news, Ray.
What?
One of your favorites, Taylor Swift.
Y'all, Taylor Swift, man. She's been in the news a couple times over the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to bring it in. Like, the latest thing is that I guess her fans were jumping up and down so much that it actually registered a small seismic event. Where she did that.
What city was it in?
I forgot. I think somewhere in Colorado.
It was in a stadium.
Yeah. It was a stadium.
Maybe it was in Bronco Stadium.
Yeah, she's doing all stadiums right now.
Yeah, it's probably in, what is that, Mile High Stadium?
Yeah, maybe.
The Broncos ain't generating no earthquake. Take that for what you will. I'm not trying to cast any shade on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it registered as a low-level earthquake. It's that crazy. Another thing is she is actually contributing to the U.S. economy.
In a practical way.
I think the number was she's contributed $4.6 billion to the consumer. To the consumer whatever economy
market.
Yeah, it's just insane. And then what was the other thing? She it was the earthquake, the economy. Oh, and it's her contribution has been so massive that she was actually in the latest Fed report. Right? The U.S. Federal Reserve, the people that are responsible for controlling interest rates, brought up Taylor Swift.
Wow.
And her contribution to the U.S. economy.
So I was kind of a little bit confused. Not confused. I was like not sure what you were talking about. Is that confusion?
Yeah, well.
Interested?
Yeah, it's not clear.
Intrigued? Yeah, I wasn't clear about it. About how she's doing it exactly. So you were talking about the audience would come, or the fans would come in.
Yeah, it's just not
stimulate the economy.
Yeah, it's just not her ticket sales. It's like everything, all the stuff around it. It's
hotels, the Ubers, the gas stations.
Exactly, gas, right. Exactly, all of that stuff.
All your food places, your whatever,
all the tips.
Shopping, tips.
Yeah, people come in a few days early. They go shopping at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of those types.
Yeah, they got to get their clothes right for whenever they go to the concert.
Right. Got to get their
And they stay a little bit extra after.
Exactly. Not to mention all the alcohol.
Alcohol
is being consumed.
All the snacks.
That's right. Hot dogs.
I'm hecking toddler dad mode talking about snacks. Yeah, so that's crazy.
That's some serious.
That's big time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe the closest to that is Beyonce. Mm-hmm. But I don't hear any reports about Beyonce contributing. I'm sure she does, but maybe not to.
Her music isn't like, I think it's also the genre. Like Taylor's a little more rocky. Beyonce's a little more soul, so there's not really much jumping and going crazy in Beyonce's. But as far as stimulating the economy, I don't hear it about Beyonce. Yeah, they should. Like, maybe The Weeknd.
I mean, Taylor's got to be one of the biggest artists ever.
Ever in history.
She, to me, has got to be setting new standards and breaking records, for sure.
Well, I think a lot of that, it's getting contributed to by having internet
Oh,
as well.
Sure.
Everyone can reach everyone at any time.
Yep, social media.
Through your phone. So
yep.
only way up to go for artists. Which says it's a good time to get into the music business.
It's plenty of room. Don't be discouraged. Just keep moving.
So we have a limiting belief also coming from Ray Dog, which we'll talk about.
Oh yeah.
But you going to name drop the dude?
Yeah. So in fact, I don't even know if our audience.
So what's the limiting belief? The limiting belief is like people telling you something's not good enough, and then your mindset is like, yeah, they're right. I'm not going to do this
exactly.
anymore.
Don't limit yourself by other people's comments. That's the deal. There's this guy in the UK. His name is Bruno Mars. It's not Mars. It's not Bruno Mars, but this guy named Bruno. He has over 1 billion streams right now on Spotify. And 10 years ago, he was told by a label that his music was unreleasable. Now he could have stopped right there.
That's a big discouragement.
That's a big limit. Your stuff is unreleasable. And he didn't believe that.
I guess it depends on the type of person you are.
That's right.
Like, probably his music at the time was unreleasable.
Or maybe it needed some help.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, he could have allowed that to stop him.
He could have tucked tail and went back home and found another hobby.
But instead, he got better.
Yeah, I think, depending on your personality, some people are the type like, yeah, that's probably true, and then they hide. And then there's other people who are like, nah, forget you. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Exactly.
And keep doing this until I could, a couple of years down the road, and say, look, I did it. You were wrong.
Well, 10 years ago now, he's like everywhere. See, I guess y'all should have believed in me.
Is he a variation of Bruno Mars? He's like slightly different.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I just read the article a few days ago. It was amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, don't let people tell you stuff to discourage you to the point that you're just gonna stop.
That's right.
Maybe take their advice and make adjustments.
Yeah, make adjustments, but keep going.
Yep. Depending on how it comes too, the presentation's a lot too.
Yep.
And who it's coming from.
Exactly.
So let's jump straight into the main talk. We are talking about building an audience for a music producer. Part 2. We'll probably have another 1 or 2 parts to this. So stay tuned for the next couple of episodes. The first one we're going to talk about today is collaborate with other artists. We've talked about this before on other episodes, but we'll talk about it in regards to building an audience. What are your thoughts on that, Ray Dog?
I think the collaboration part is massive, and I know it's a technique that's been used in the past, and then it's that technique is for sure never going to be overrated, right? Because it's so necessary. Not only, like, to me, collaborations are important 2 ways. Number one, it really helps create something different that you may not have done on your own. So they can, help contribute musically. They can help contribute, all sorts of kind of different ideas that might come about.
All sorts of kind of different ideas.
All sorts of kind of. Right. And then the second thing is the most obvious, to the point of the audience. If you can collaborate with someone that has a similar audience but different audience than you, then that collaboration opens you up to a completely different audience. And then it allows you to grow and then win them over. So
yeah, and I think if we're talking about like a music producer standpoint, sometimes, which we talk about a lot with like splits and stuff, sometimes your collaboration doesn't mean they're just going to one-off pay you. Sometimes your collaboration means, okay, we're going to split this, and hopefully this reaches new people, new heights, new audience.
Piece of the back end.
Yep, and you get the back end. You're always going to be on this project until you die, and whatever the copyright term stuff is.
Right.
But that's huge to be collaborating because, like you said, people have different audiences. Also, people see differently than you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I was walking this way and Ray's behind me looking toward my back, he could see, oh, you got a piece of lint on your shirt. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Same thing kind of applies to producing music and music as far as like as a songwriter or whatever. Yeah. People can see stuff from different angles. Oh, that doesn't really work that good there. Maybe we could try this.
Absolutely.
And that's the power of collaboration.
That's really good.
We talk about like the biblical term of like 1 is 1,000 and 2 is 10,000. It's not 2,000. It's like exponentially greater. So
I like to say 1 and 1 should equal 10.
Boom.
Not 2.
Yeah. The Bible says thousands, so you're thinking a little too small, Ray.
That's right. Well,
yeah, collaboration's huge. Next one is release music consistently.
Yeah, it's so funny, man. I've been listening to a marketing book. This guy named Seth Godin.
You listen to a marketing book?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah,
the audio version. Yeah. My guy, I do the same thing.
Yeah, so I'm listening to Seth Godin, and it was so funny. I was listening to him on my walk this morning, and he actually brought. Now the book is a few years old. It's not too old, but maybe 3 or 4. But that's what's crazy is he was saying the exact same thing that you just said. Put out it's consistently showing up to your audience, and that will help you. That would help deliver attention, and really creating an aligned audience. That consistency is just critical to current marketing.
Yep, I think too with people that are, if you're tuned into this, you've probably been doing it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So as far as your music goes, some people like to overthink. Even after they've done it for 5 years.
You're right.
It's like, dude, you know what you're capable of.
Right.
You've already released a bunch of stuff that's solid. Or you collaborated with people and helped them release their stuff that is solid. So just keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing it. Because what you're doing is every time you're winning over either your current audience and keeping them engaged and aligned, or new audience. And so you got to keep, working that and
new content.
Yeah, new content.
And the way I see it too is people, like, say if you're collaborating with the artist and you release music and it's not exactly something fan B likes, maybe fan A likes it, but fan B is like, oh, this one's all right, I don't really care for it. They're just not going to listen to it.
Right. They're
not going to leave your whole ecosystem and be like, no, I hate you because you released one song out of 100 that I don't really like.
Right.
They're just not. They'll just skip over that one and listen to the ones they like, and then the next release maybe they like it.
Exactly. And then honestly, I mean, kind of what we're doing on this podcast, Rome. Honestly, like I actually heard this on another podcast a few weeks ago. That 50% of podcasts that are out there right now are only one episode.
They don't finish.
They didn't keep going, and then 25% of that only 10 episodes. So I was thinking about what we've been doing. Like we're on
episode 42.
Exactly. So just by nature of the stats, statistically,
we're in the top percent.
Right.
We keep crushing. We're staying consistent
because we've been consistently putting out product. Now our audience still needs to grow and all that, but that gives us putting out that content.
There's a back catalog.
Exactly.
So you get a new fan. They're going to be like, they go through your other stuff.
Right. So this is not just something that works with music. It works in all sorts of,
all sorts of kind of stuff.
All sorts of kind of genres. Being consistent.
Yep, consistent. And that works in your relationships too.
Don't go there.
No, I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm not talking about romantic. Yeah, you can.
It could. Honestly, it does.
Yeah, I'm talking more about your networking.
Oh yeah.
Who you're connected with. Hey, the song that we did a year ago is awesome. What do you think about doing it again?
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, I know we talked about this song. What do you think about doing something new? Yeah, okay. And you're being consistent at the forefront of people's mind, or even being consistent on social media, and they follow you.
Yeah.
They see your face, and like, oh yeah, and they'll reach back out. Hey, Ray, let's do it.
I think consistency is, again, it will never be
overrated.
Yeah, overrated. Like it's just huge.
Yeah.
It I think almost out of everything that we've talked about, that's actually one of the biggest things. Like to me, if I had one tip to give, one tip, just show up, be consistent every single day.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
But we have another tip for you.
But we have more tips.
But there's more. The next one is participate in music contests.
Oh. Well, talk to me about that.
Now with the power of the internet.
You mean like the drum off at Guitar Center?
Sure. If you want to do it. Back in the day I was a drum department manager, and they did the drum off.
Were you were actually there?
I was there hosting it.
How many people would show up?
There's probably like 15, 20 contestants.
Oh, okay.
It was a small little... It was cool.
Was it good?
It was all right.
Did you get up there and play?
Heck no. Yeah, all I do is metal fills, and I would have won. Yeah, but I think with participating in music contests, that you could either do it like they have Battle of the Bands. You could submit your music for contests online. There's plenty of that. You know, if you're a producer and you're not a songwriter, you could collab with the songwriter, and then y'all both agree we're releasing this for this contest.
Yep.
Or you could do it on your own.
That's cool.
It's like the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Especially with the internet.
I've never done a contest, but man, that's a great But I see them all the time at clubs, like open mic nights and things like that.
Yeah.
Different contests that, you know, like you said, Battle of the Bands at different clubs. And that even if you lose,
you got experience.
You got
your name's out there.
And you that club owner or whoever put on the competition knows your name now. And can ask you to come. Hey man, I know you didn't win, but can you come and do this show next week?
Yeah, a little change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I first got into metal music, I was in church doing like a little bit of church music, but
like metal church music.
No. Sure, but my brother was in a band that did a Battle of the Bands at high school. And they ended up winning, and I just liked the music a lot, and I didn't really hear the music too much before.
Yeah.
Like I was a little bit into like punk rock a little bit. And I was like, this is cool, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like MXPX.
Oh, you like the hard stuff.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is cool. But then their band played, and it was like heavier and screaming. And I was like, I love this. And they won the Battle of the Bands there, and that was kind of my start of like getting into metal music.
Paramore and Metallica are my limit on metal.
Oh, really?
That's about where
Metallica. Yeah, Metallica's pretty heavy. What about Slayer?
No.
I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, music contests are out there.
That's actually a great idea.
You can just Google.
That's a good little tip.
Music contests, whatever. Maybe even put a genre in there. What genre you're into?
That's some good game right there.
That's a little game. So just to recap, collaborate with other artists.
Yeah.
It's huge. 1 + 1 is 10.
Boom.
Raise words. Release music consistently. Not only release music, but just be consistent.
Overall.
And what you do, your life. Participate in music contests. You can go to Battle of the Bands, do it online, blah, blah, blah. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And I have a story.
Come on.
So what I would like to speak to, when we tell stories, there's always a reason behind it. Yeah. Well, for the most part. Yeah. We always try to make it inspirational and connects with our audience. So my reason for telling this is because I would hustle. I'm talking about being consistent, hustling, figuring out ways to do stuff.
Yeah.
Make money. I was a broke college student. Needed money. I knew how to flip music equipment. And I was on this little website called Craigslist. And on Craigslist, someone posted for a Fender Telecaster that needed some work, they said. The price was $15. So instantly I emailed them.
Hey, dude, if it was a legit Telecaster.
Let me keep going. It was actually a Mexican.
Well,
which I knew based off of like knowing guitars a lot. I could just look at it like,
those aren't as pricey as American, but still for
$15 investment,
right?
Like the little control cavity area was unscrewed, and I knew enough about guitars, which just also speaks to like figure out how to do stuff. Yeah, that's a skill. People can't take the skill. Like if everything else failed in my life, I could still work on guitars. That's a skill no one could take from me. That I could just say. Right. I'm going to work on guitars now. Right. So anyways, I went to their house, picked this thing up. The lady's like, my email's been blasted. And I was like, oh, really? I wonder why. Like playing dumb. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a Fender Telecaster for $15.
Right.
And it needed some strings, and the control plate needed 2 screws, basically. Yeah. I didn't know about the pots because sometimes they're scratchy. You got to test it out.
Right.
Took it back to the dorm, plugged it in. Pots were good, needed some strings.
So wait. So she sold it to you for $15?
$15.
Wow.
And then I ended up flipping for probably like $300 or $400.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Stratocaster guy. Whatever that means. Yeah. But I was like, I don't need this guitar. I just I played it a little bit and then I sold it.
That's a great flip, dude. And that's a good story.
But stuff like that happens all the time.
That's, what's his name? Not Grant Cardone, but
Gary
V.
Yeah,
that's Gary going to those.
I know exactly what he has going on because he makes way more money than I do.
Sure.
And he still likes to do it. Like it's something he can't really stop. I guess.
Yeah, he'll go yard selling on Saturdays and flip.
Me, I'm the same way. Like Mila and I, if we're making a good chunk of money and like I don't need to go and hustle, like it's not strenuous to do it.
Go.
I still do it. I'm like, man,
dude, I need to go with you one day.
Well, I don't really go places because now we have Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, all right, I got a little time in between sessions. I have an hour. I'll go hit up a couple pawn shops.
So I was looking for a guitar for my youngest son Jet.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I looked at Facebook Marketplace. They were all like $700-800.
What guitar are you looking for?
We were looking for. It was I think he ended up getting a Strat with a SSH configuration.
He should just build his own guitar.
Well, it had a humbucker in it, so.
Well, he could have gotten a normal. He could have got a normal Strat and then take the pickup cover off because those are like one piece.
Right, but my point is this: like they were still expensive. Like you would have to.
Yeah,
I think everyone knows kind of what they're selling, especially in this town.
Oh yeah, especially Austin.
Yeah.
And the Mexican stuff the price has gone up. Like I had a Mexican P bass I sold for $350. Now it'll probably sell for $455.
Oh wow!
So that price is going up.
Yeah.
But I'm always hustling gear, man. Especially if you're looking for a sound.
Flip, like you would need to find something in the 100-150 range, and then flip it for $300-400.
Sure.
But like we can't find anything that low.
Yeah, well the next level to it is I know enough about guitars that I could get a guitar that's cheaper and it just needs some work to bring the value of it up. Same thing like with car people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like here's this oldie, it's a little rusted, blah blah blah, but I have the skill to be able to put into it and make that thing shiny and then add a couple grand on it or whatever.
Yeah, cool.
But if you don't have that, find someone that does know how to do it.
Now I know someone that does. Hey, Rome.
Which actually, I just built a bass.
No way.
Yep, I built a custom bass for myself that's like exactly the specs I want.
What, you just got all the raw parts?
I bought all the stuff and put it together.
Yeah.
Amazon. I got all the parts I wanted. I want these tuners. I want this bridge. I want these strings, blah, blah, blah.
That's another thing we need to do next year. Go to the International Guitar Show in Dallas.
That'd be sick.
Do our podcast from there.
That'd be sick.
I know the owner.
Yeah. But when you're looking for a tone, maybe not as much as a drummer, like you kind of find your tone, you're like, you're good. These are the heads. As a guitar player, you're looking for tones.
Yeah.
So I'll go through guitars left and right. I bought this guitar as a good deal. I played it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Then the next one comes, it sounds better, or the one I built sounds better.
And you'll flip it.
Selling the other stuff.
Yeah.
Except if it's a sentimental piece. Like I have a couple of guitars that I'm passing down to my kids, so those don't get touched. They're just in the closet.
Right.
But the other ones.
Are your kids? I know we're kind of going off on this, but are your kids musically inclined at all? Have you noticed any?
Actually, Adonis could hit pitch. He could sing on pitch.
Way. How old is he?
3.
And he can hit pitch.
He can hit pitch since he was 2. He could read since he was 2, so he's a little unique kid.
Yeah.
Apollo, he's a little bit inclined just because brother does it. But Adonis, he could go on the drums and he could kill it. I'll show you a video afterwards. He'd go on there and kill it.
That's cool.
And sing ABCs while he's hitting it. I'll show you. It's hilarious. But yeah, they probably will like it. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to force them to do any stuff, but they're going to be in church. They're going to see Daddy doing it. So
right.
They'll probably do it.
That's a good story, man. That's good.
Yeah, a little rabbit trail, but if you could hustle and you got skills.
Yeah, put you on your hustle game.
You got skills. That's
and you know what? To that regard too, like old keyboards are the same way. Like if you could find an old Yamaha DX7 right now,
switch out a couple capacitors, clean it up.
You could sell that junk for like $2,500.
You would have to go to like Dallas or someplace that's not a music city.
Yeah,
that's the hard part. I knew. Like in college, I was in Dallas.
Yeah,
every place had deals. Here, you got to look a little harder.
Yeah, especially like with this, 80s thing that's been going on the last 5-10 years.
Retro.
Oh yeah.
Synthwave and all that stuff.
Authentic DX7 would be huge.
If you find one, let Ray know.
Yeah, let me know.
Any condition, Rome will fix it for him. But thank you all for tuning in. Before we hop off, make sure you go check out Industry Standard Productions.
Oh, sorry.
forwardproducer.com/ISP.
Yes.
No, you should have given us the gong. That should be our intro gong.
Welcome.
I like it.
Forward producer.
And if you could like, share, rate, subscribe, do all that awesome social stuff, it'll mean a lot. If you got any value out of this, let us know in the comments. Please if you just found it and you don't like it, let us know in the comments. We don't care.
I don't like you.
Like Jed's video, I get hate comments all the time.
Really?
I'll comment back.
That's fine.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We will see y'all next time.
Peace.